Now, they do say, and I want to unpack this briefly, we must obey men or God rather than men. We must obey God rather than men. And so I want to be careful with this because this can be an opportunity for spiritual abuse. Because sometimes people say, God told me. Well, we'll see. Okay? You can't just pull out the God told me card. Ladies, right, let's say you meet a guy, and the guy says, God told me to marry you. So, interesting. He didn't tell me or my dad. So I don't have to just assume that because you say the Lord says that the Lord, in fact, has spoken. You need to be very careful. Somebody comes along, God told me to plant a church. Well, let's check that. Right? You can't, 1 Corinthians 14 is clear. If you think you got a word from the Lord, you got to check it by the leaders. So what we're looking for, if you believe God has told you something, especially to do something that is difficult like this, we're looking for a godly person. Peter's a godly person. In godly community, it says he's with the apostles. They're all agreed. Under godly authority, they all agree on this. With a godly motive to talk about Jesus, doing a godly thing, wanting to minister to people in a godly way by being open in public and not hiding anything. So if you believe the Lord has told you something, he may have, but I would ask, are you a godly person in godly community under godly authority with a godly motive doing a godly thing in a godly way? And what they are demonstrating is what we would call civil disobedience. Civil disobedience. Like in China, where they have population controls, if a woman who loves Jesus gets pregnant, the government comes and says, you have to have an abortion. She could say, I can't do that. I need to obey God. I can't obey you. And when we're talking about civil disobedience, we're talking about, as a last resort, doing what is best for the gospel of Jesus Christ, which probably means it's not benefiting you. And that's what they're practicing. They're putting it all on the line for Team Jesus.